haven't seen. I'm not looking at the overseer anymore. But now because we have to look, right? Shadow stones. I'm hologram. Fucking Zenny never gives me anything. DMD got something. Okay. Porphyrio again in fucking Xenatil, man. Fuck this shit, man. Black Death. Whoa. Yeah, it's going crazy. Yo, yeah. I always forget to pull the mic out of this headset. I think this is better. Yeah, I was I was looking over the overseer. Yeah, a lot of fucking drops yesterday. Man, nothing drops when I grind Zenny. What's up, bro? There's a guy that came in here and started telling us that he lost all his life savings and shit. Oh man, this space, the crypto space. My friend like lost, I don't know, he put in 14k euros and it's down to 4k now as well. But he just went like, I told him in 2020 to buy and he bought in 2021 alone without asking anybody. And yeah, this is what happens, right? Like, look, now he doesn't have more money to buy. Oh. Like, if you've been in this space long enough, you know that, you know, you need to take, like, it doesn't even matter. You just need to not hurry. Like, I fucked up. I fucked up too yesterday because yeah, I guess it was yesterday. Hello, Moxie. Yeah. But I fucked up yesterday too, cause like I participated at the Eve.io mint, and I wanted to fucking mint a fucking character, right? And look, there are 850 left up to 3000. So I minted one soul, but I minted a weapon because I was trying to mint a character, and I got 2 times like error because the network was too congested. So I minted a weapon, but if I would have waited 1 hour, I could have minted a character because like I thought they were gonna sell out. I don't know. I like okay, 2 times error. Like if I would have waited like 15 minutes, not even 1 hour, you know. So yeah, like we all do fucking mistakes. But at least I have, you know, something in there to, you know, try to get money from playing. Because you can't get money if you don't have an NFT. But you can rent NFTs and you can also like rent to people and from people. Yeah. Imagine being salty over text. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, he's saying he lost his house and his life saving, but he has 200k pounds left. So like, I don't know, if I had 200 pounds left, man, I could buy a house right now, and then I could, for a few years, just live while I do web development and crypto, you know, like blockchain development for a few years. Then I'll be completely set. Like, yeah. Imagine he had millions of fucking pounds if he managed to fucking lose 90% of his value and still has 200k. Like fuck 200k, right? If I would have 100k, I would be able to fucking buy a house. I would be so fucking happy. But yeah, this is like, it's weird in this space with greed and panic, and like I panicked as well, for fuck's sakes, on a fucking mint, because like I didn't have experience, like, but I should have like realized that the Binance is still not letting me take out, you know, Solana, because the network is so congested. So like I can't imagine why I would have thought this was gonna sell out. So how are you guys? What you guys doing today in the game? And I've been looking at so many stuff about like not what happened per se with Luna, but how it affected, you know, the broader investors. And it's like there's people trying to commit suicide and shit like that, and like, well, I don't want to be like a dick or anything, because like I understand, but first of all, you assume the risk without, you know, and it's not like it, because it wasn't like a risky investment when you, like, in the first place, right? It's a fucking stable coin. But like, why would you put so much money that you would lose everything, you know? You assume that risk. I remote day playing for the longbow gods. Praying. Yeah, true. You want a longbow drop? Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, but like, you can take advantage of what's happening right now and put some money into engine and buy a fucking longbow at like super fucking discount. Yeah, I guess like I don't have like I would buy a Transcendent right now if I had fiat, like literally, because it's like half a price, right? Like with engine being at 50 cents, and I know there's a reckoning on the market. I don't know exactly for what price, or if anybody bought it, because let's check it out actually. It was last sold at 1,550 engine, I think. Yeah, so there's a guy that there's one on the auction house. I don't know exactly how much more but it's probably the floor price that we have now. So imagine like you're buying a Transcendent for $700, and you know, in the top of peak of the market it's worth like 5k. That's a good fucking investment right there. And it's not a fucking life-saving investment, it's fucking $700, right? So Max, the crypto all sus does nothing, and never put all your eggs in one basket, or even network, invest what you can to. Exactly, you should invest an amount you are comfortable, because it's still, you know, it depends on the, like, based on the network and use cases, and you can like aggregate risk, but it's still risk, like with everything. Even if you fucking buy a house, it can burn down, right? Like, okay, so let's say you buy a house, you know, the word starts spreading and your house gets bombed, and like, really, everything has risk in it. It's just like the percentage of risk. So yeah, not having all your eggs in one basket, I'm with the same thing. And I also like, for me, I like to spread my investments over time, first of all, and then secondly, I like to to make investments with lower amounts of, you know, cash, and then progressively invest more as, you know, so yeah, and then gradually invest more when you understand more about the coin, you have more experience with the space that the coin and the community and the stuff, depending, you know, like I did flips too. I can't say that like I didn't. Like I bought coins that I had no fucking clue what they did, but I had a reason. Like I was buying them, you know, because of the hype and because I got an early position before like the broader public, you know, and then I just, you know, sold in like under 1 week. So like yeah. And also like when I started, you know, getting involved with blockchain and this space, it's like I had no idea what was like, but I wasn't ready to invest straight like that, you know, like when I got involved like, okay, crypto, okay, so you see mining, right? So if I buy a miner, then I have the value of the hardware, which was a total joke because it decreased like 75%, even more. So like my miner is kind of fucking worthless, but you know, it took out, like I managed to take out my investment that I paid for the hardware, and you know, I still have the hardware, I still use it sometime depending or where I can put it, you know, to pay less for electricity. And yeah, so Maxi, I've gotten an uncommon longbow, but I'm running my. Oh, you definitely need an epic one. Yeah, I got tax issues. I can't move any crypto till I pay it off, so I'm just playing for fun game time being. Decide my fate. Yeah, something like $500,000 Dodge one day. Yeah, like that Dodge was exactly that kind of like hype stuff. And Shiba Inu was again like back in 2020 or 21 in the start. Yeah, in the start of 21 for a flip back in 2014, whatever it was. Yeah, the week that it came out, it was the biggest figment. Yeah, well, basically it was made as a joke, right? So Dogecoin was made as a joke, just to prove that, you know, crypto, everybody can do it. The technology is solid, right? So it was a meme for the technology, Dogecoin. So then brilliant Elon Musk came in and said like, okay, so like why wouldn't like any crypto, because of technology, has the potential to change the world? Why not a meme coin, right? Why not Dogecoin? So and now it's back to 0.08, but imagine it was at 70 fucking cents, man. Like it made millionaires. I remember like back in 2016, 15 when like Ripple and everything like ADA was like under a cent. It's just fucking insane, man. Insane fucking gains. Yeah, I was like, when I heard that, I was like, why the fuck would I fucking own Dogecoin? When I heard Elon Musk saying about that, that's just fucking ridiculous. It's and then like you couldn't have expected. Now, like that's when we saw the fucking power of a fucking Elon Musk tweet, right? I couldn't anticipate that it would go from 1 cent to fucking 70 cents, right? Just because of a tweet, so I didn't buy in, but like even if it, and when it's stuff like this happening, like random shitty stuff, like if you put like $500, you become a fucking millionaire, right? So why the fuck would you put more if you're greedy, you would put more, obviously. But like, why? Why would you be that greedy? You have $500 that can make you a fucking millionaire, and then you know you have $500 in another project that might go up like to 3x. Don't be greedy with all your eggs in one basket. I had all my coins stolen by Cripsty, and you think I haven't learned my lesson, but not a year ago I lost it in Mt. Gox, thinking that was such a rock solid exchange. It never collapsed. With price, man, you're a long time in crypto, man. Like, you should be wealthy by now, even with all these fucking mistakes, right? But it's not even a mistake. It's like the space, like Mount Gox. It's exactly what fucking happened to Luna in a way. Like, you can't fucking foresee. Like, you believe a project is solid, right? It has foundation, and then something like super fucking like low percentage happens, like RNG. So it's like drops in fucking lost relics, right? They happen, but and when they happen, they're big. It's like this is what fucking happens when like big entities like Mount Gox and Luna just completely get wiped out by some random, you know, event, shit of events. I can't find the word. Chain of events, yeah, by random fucking chain of events, because like everybody fucking panicked so bad. And I don't blame them. Like, you know, you see, you have a losing hand. It's exactly like poker. You want to fold to save, you know, it's to not lose more money. That's how you win. If you fold, you know, you preserve value in time for, you know, to find an opportunity to make more. You don't. So with price crashing, consolidating, I walked away, but did stockpiles from those eras survive the loss? I'd be set for life. Yeah, I set up 3 miners in 2012, but it just, come on, world, and you can get really fucked. Yeah. Nice with the miners. Like, I wish, like, I got into June 2016 into crypto, to be honest, and like I wish I would have gotten into 2014, because in 2014 I managed to, you know, I had some savings, and I was just not, you know, introduced to the space in that sense. I mean, I knew about Bitcoin. I had no clue about the space, and like what attracted me in the first fucking place to this was just the decentralized factor, you know, the fact that we can opt out of the government system, which like it's slowly moving towards that direction, like. But like, what people don't understand with most cryptos is like, we've gotten to a point where you don't, first of all, you don't buy coins so that they go up in value. We're at the point where you buy coins, and more so NFTs, for their utility in the new ecosystems that are building. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not fucking investing into like crypto apes, you know, and stuff like that, but like, look, I found this game, like, it's a shooter, and for every kill you get Solana, right, if you own an NFT. Like most games, you know, copy that CryptoKitty model, which is like an economy collapsing on itself. Like, it literally happens for every game. When there's people not buying NFTs, you know, the NFTs, and the game dies down, then basically the economy crashes because there's nothing to sustain it. I don't think that this game is gonna be like, you know, with 2 NFTs you can mint the third one. I'm not sure, but I'm like 75 to 90% sure because I haven't read anywhere about that, and there's a limited amount of NFTs. But like they have, you know, investing like, and right now it's like I invested 1 Solana, so, and it was $70 when I bought it a few days ago, so now it's 40, but it's just 1 Solana. I'm actually trying to see if Binance would let me out to let me, you know, take out, because the network is fucking blocked again. And this is a factor that affects. I went, so I literally went to the fucking stash to get gloves, and I forgot to get gloves. So yeah, so this is, I wanted to say that the fact that Binance is not allowing withdrawals for certain cryptocurrencies because of network congestion, in my opinion, is just another factor that, you know, roll the snowball down the hill for Terra, you know, that created more panic. Why the fuck didn't I bring? Why the fuck did I forget? So, if you wanna, I can show you the mint. So this is the game, and I have 2 more days, I guess, and I hope like Binance would let me take out some Solana in 2 days, and there will be more. There will still be character NFTs to be minted, because I wanted to make a character. Like I said, I also a little bit panicked on this because I got 2 times network error when I tried to mint a character. I had a whitelist token, so I minted a weapon for 1 Solana, but I really wanted a character. And now I'm trying to get, because it's basically the same price that I paid for that 1 Solana, so I'm gonna try and get a character if Binance would let me move funds out of my fucking account. And after I actually participated in this, I got introduced to the whole, you know, ecosystem of scams that's been going on with Solana NFTs, and it's fucking insane. Because I got this shitty NFT in my wallet, and I tried finding out what it's about, because this is another thing that you need to take into consideration with crypto. The fucking scams are everywhere, man. I remember like I was lucky to get out of a scam, because I remember in 2017, I think it was, yeah, so there was this coin, and it literally had went back when ICOs were a thing. So what happened is that they literally copied the website. They managed to get it above, in Google searches, they managed to get it above the original website. Okay, so it was a cloned website, and the cloned website made more money than the real ICO website by itself, you know. So literally there were more money stolen than money invested in the ICO just from that cloned web page. So, and for me, I think I wanted to put 1 Ethereum into that coin, and like because the network was so congested, I again got errors and I couldn't. And that was actually a blessing in disguise, right? So I'm pretty careful with that kind of stuff. So like there's this shitty, like I'm gonna even show you how the NFT looks like. So look, it's right here. So this shit, if it has a link, and if you click on that link, it will basically allow the website or whatever who the fuck did this to extract the contents of your wallet, like all your contents, your NFTs, your money, it will basically give them access to it if you go on the stupid link that, but you need to use the link from inside the wallet. So like I don't really click on anything before I actually, am informed about that shit. And that's the way. Like, you don't have a third party with crypto. You don't fucking have a bank, that can. Oh, you got scammed. Oh, I'm sorry, you're stupid. We're gonna give your money back. You are responsible for your fucking actions. And like so many people today, they don't take responsibility about their actions. Like, and you can clearly see this in the way that they fucking invest into the crypto space. They don't. There's nobody that's gonna bail you out. That's the thing. Like, so you should try to estimate the risk that you're willing to take, knowing that there's nobody else that's going to bail you out. So yeah. Okay, you. So yeah, definitely hers that was doing the. Okay, I don't even know where we left up. Okay, so definitely hers that. It's right, but there was. Yeah, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, for me personally, I don't really want to keep my money on exchanges. Like, I actually recently started to use fucking Binance in the sense that I'm keeping some funds there. I got a Visa card as well, and I'm using their staking options, which is are pretty shitty, but it's better than nothing. Because if you have like the projects I invested in are like basically you can't really invest a lot of money. Like they're the ones that give you 20% API for a few months. Those like are super fucking low. Like you can't really put a lot of money in them. So I'm trying to fill those up with coins that I do believe have a future. I don't like Polygon, like Solana, like what else? I have some obviously Polkadot, but yeah. So like I try to fill out the 20% gains on those coins, not really thinking about the price, but just try to accumulate more coins like that. In a way, for me, staking is like a blessing in disguise versus mining, right? So it's basically the same thing, only you don't really have to invest resources. So I'm trying to do that with Binance, see if I can make if I can make like $100 per day at one point, then I'll probably be happy with it. Not really at these prices. So I'm gonna use this attack speed buff, and then I'm gonna read more of what you wrote, Maxi. And then I need to get the tool as well. Okay, let's hope no boss spawns, because the speed is gonna end by then. Or, yeah. Good job, Serena. Yeah, that was the end of Science for Bangos. The day they started lacking withdrawals a couple of weeks. Yeah, and you can also like this is kind of fucked up because you're at. Why did I miss? What the fuck did I miss? Did I miss a room? I don't do that. Like exchanges are basically third parties, right? So you actually give custody of your funds in a way to somebody else. So that's why I really don't like. This is why the crypto space is very appealing to me, because it's peer to peer and it eliminates the need for third parties. So we do need third parties. Like I'm not saying that we don't, because like how else would this work? How else would exchanges and trades work. Like you can't really communicate from one network to another. But like for me, I was really excited about Uniswap, and it I actually was one of the guys that used it, and I'm sad that I only used it on one address before September 2020, I think it was, when they rewarded the public with LP tokens. So that was just, I don't know, like a really nice gift, birthday gift. But yeah, like you do need centralized exchanges so that they can communicate with, you know, our the real world, so with like fiat systems. Oh, forgot my $2 to pay 1,000 to clear without tools. Yeah, I noticed that on OpenSea as well about that eve.io. You check some of the fake scam pages and they made millions. Exactly. It's why Engine is a better system. I reckon fully decentralized NFTs is too confusing for a corporation to use because there's no scam control. Yes, staking is not without risks though, exactly. As Axie Infinity stakers found out, not only Axie Infinity stakers, but like, and you can see how these staking pools operate. You know, they try to lure you in, like you saw with what happened with Anchor. They try to lure you in with this insane APIs, and like they consciously know that they will have to lower them, but like if too many people get in, you know, like you done the job right, okay? So let's say a lot of people go in, and you can't fucking sustain it because you don't really anticipate how many people are going to get in, and then it crashes. You give them your coins, and if they get hacked, even if it's an inside job, your coins are gone. The thing that I liked, and the thing that proves to, you know, to show that Binance is in this space is one of the more trustworthy, you know, companies, is the fact that they bailed out when they do mistake. When I don't remember exactly what happened at that point, but I know they did a bailout, but I don't remember exactly what the situation is. But yeah, they got hacked or something of that sort, and you know, admitting I'm not that's not the word I'm trying to use. Well, realizing that it's not the word I want to use either, but it it was basically their mistake, so they took responsibility for that. And CZ is a very calculated guy, and that's what I like about, like, looking at the CEOs that run the companies. Is one of the ways you like their character you know, goes a long way into, you know, understanding how the company operates. So like CZ is one of those guys that, you know, has a backup plan. Like, you know, he has a backup plan because of the way, you know, he interacted with his company so far. So like, you know, the risk goes down like 5% right there because you have a person that is anticipating risk, you know, not like Anchor with the 20% lure API that, and they can't really predict how many people, you know, are going to attract to their platform, and it falls to shit. Or like Mount Gox, which is a fucking I think he was from France or something. It doesn't even fucking matter. He was a fucking RuneScape or card trader or something in a fucking video game, and then he fucking buys an exchange for cheap, and he wants to run an exchange. You know, obviously shit like that is going to happen when you put faith in people that do not have experience, right? Right? Like you should take more factors into consideration. It's not just the fucking coin that's gonna fucking pump, right? it's the ecosystem that is behind it as well that determines its risk factor. Japan. Yeah, I know it was something with Japan, but I don't remember. It was in 2014 or something. I wasn't there, so I can't really say. It's from what I remember reading and, you know, looking at. Well, back then they were the biggest and considered the safest. It was just early days in the Wild West. You went to the safest place you could. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm not saying that at that time that was the best option, right? But as time went by, it goes to prove, like, you know, stuff like that is more important than you know, to take into consideration, like what I was talking about, the guys that actually, you know, the character of the guys that actually run these companies, the way they view life, and the way they run companies. It's highly correlated with the way they live their lives, right? And the way they save money for themselves and stuff like that. But I totally agree. There wasn't any other option there. But like I'm saying, it's this guy that, you know, can take, can assume, can foresee more scenarios and take, you know, certain precautions, versus a guy that has no fucking experience and goes from one area of activity to another one, you know. I actually want to try FTX out. I don't really know if they have staking, and I'm sure you tried it. Like, I haven't really, like, it's this year is the first time I actually linked my credit card to Binance to put fiat in. I never used Binance with fiat, just so you know. So that, like, for me, this stuff is fairly new, because I see no point in avoiding it anymore. But obviously, like, for the anchor, if you think about it, it's like, even if you get the 20% API, you get it on the dollar, right? So, like, you can imagine a lot of people into Terra, they put a lot of fucking money in that contract to get 20%, you know, because, like, you put $1,000, right? Like, $1,000 is not a high risk investment, right? But you don't really get nothing back. You get $200. So you need to, you know, like, if you're gonna do it, you want to get at least 20% out of something back, right? Not out of, like, $1,000. So. But, like, with some stuff that's happening in the space, the NFTs that have utility, I can put $200 in and get, like, a 10x return, you know, and I don't need to put millions of dollars, you know, to make the money that I was gonna make with that $1,000 on the API return back. But again, like, utility is important over, you know, like, this is the only fucking reason I fucking play Lost Relics, because this is not one of those games that has an economy built towards collapsing on itself, right? It's unforeseeable at this point scaling wise. Like we can't really know what's gonna happen scaling wise in that sense, like with the items, because like right now the game is based on transactions and the treasury, but you know, for people to have incentive to play the game, they need, you know, more NFTs and more NFTs to be added to the game. And what's gonna happen? Like, okay, so we have 200 Rain of Fire right now, right? But what's gonna happen when 10,000 people, not 10,000 people, when the 100,000 people that are in the waiting list come on, right? Like, there's not gonna be enough items for them, so they will need virtuals, right? But at the same time, they need to have a reason to play with those virtuals, right? To upgrade. And it's tricky to do because you don't exactly know the amount of stuff that you need to. So for me, like, the last event was a glimpse into the future, in the sense that there wasn't a fixed supply of items anymore. It was based on drop rates, and if we get to a point where in the game where we have something like seasons with those 4 annual events that he talked about, then it could be something like that, you know, where there's periods of time when he adds new items and they have a drop chance and everybody has a chance to get one, and it's not a fixed supply. And then when the event season, whatever you want to call it, ends, you know, the supply will be fixed. So that is scalable, I guess. I don't know how scalable it's gonna be in terms of how much money it takes for him to mint them, for, you know, the increased amount of players that will come on, but that is certainly a way that we can progress towards scaling and adding new people in the game. Because like most money is probably gonna be made on the items that have a fixed supply right now in the future, because when 100k people are gonna be coming to the game, there's still gonna be only 200, you know, Rain of Fire, for example. Can you bind hotkeys to switch between camera perspectives? No, you cannot. I love the low angle for longbow, but not while I'm being chased by a massive monster. I have to hit for like, yeah, I know. I started using low. I'm not a fan. I'm really like exploiting it right now, taking advantage of it until the update, because it's gonna be removed. The thing is that I got used to it in like 1 or 2 days by fighting the warden. I managed to learn how to kite in this view. It took me 1 day. So yeah, there's no hype growth, but there's no impending collapse. Yeah, exactly. We just need to figure out how to scale the economy, that's all. But this is the only game that actually is trying to figure out how to scale the economy. That's my my 2 cents on it. You won't make money to retire, but you'd be around 5 years. The thing is that you can make money. It's a lottery right now, but the problem is that it's not even about making the money. It's about enjoying the experience in game with the items and being able to transfer the value and the fun that you had from this game into assets. Like you know, you sell the items and then you move to another game, right? And exactly like you said earlier, with the engine ecosystem, with the decentralized NFT system, like other indie developers, this is very very nice for the indie space, you know, because a lot of AAA games, they will need their companies, so they need a lot of contracts, you know, to allow. They need to figure out a lot of stuff to allow interoperability between their, you know, games. between their, I'm not gonna say metaverses, but like you take, you know, a gun from Overwatch and you put it into Counter-Strike, right? That's not hard to do. The problem is that Source, I think, I don't even remember what, but Source Team will have to make a contract with Blizzard to do that, right? And that's where the problem comes in. But then with Engine, a fucking indie developer can come in and offer support in his game for all the Lost Relics item at the same time. At the same time, if there's no support for those NFTs there, you can sell it in the game after you finish playing with it. And I say, I'm not playing this game much more, you know, I want to move to this game. You own your assets, right? So you can sell them and move the funds to the other game and enjoy that experience. Maybe increase your funds in the other game and then do the same thing. You can migrate from game to game. It's a very interesting concept. Yeah, exactly, more items will be issued. I've noticed the numbers are limited, but there's nothing stopping him introducing new alternate weapons. Yeah, that's the thing, like, this is very nice because there's gonna be, like, this provides scarcity, right, with the way the game works right now. Like, certain items, they drop now and they will never drop again, you know? So, like, if you manage to get... it doesn't matter at what time you play the game. Based on that, in the future, your item will theoretically increase in value because of scarcity, right? Low angle works if you can one-shot mobs, but when you go melee, terrible. You don't own lure item unless they are in your wallet. That's also very true again. Like right now, the items that we have in Lost Relics, they're in our game wallets. They're not in our real wallets. So the thing is that you can't really take them out of the game. Cliff actually has complete control over your items in your bank, in your stash, but as time went on and he proved that he's very correct in that sense. I mean, he won't like ban you and put the items back in the pool and stuff like that, like without any reason, you know, like I haven't heard anybody complain about getting banned or having his items, like something happened to his items and stuff like that. But at the same time, he owns them right now. Okay, the game owns the item. You don't own the item right now. But you can sell it to other people in the game and then you can take out the money, right? So he doesn't own the Shadow Stones in that sense. Well, he owns the Shadow Stones too, but he has no restrictions over taking that out. And the thing is that because of that, Matt, like the game with how the blockchain state right now, you know, he can't really do it any other way. So in the sense that we're growing as an industry, we actually have to put some trust into Cliff, and fortunately until now he didn't prove us wrong in that sense, you know. He didn't give us a reason to, you know, not trust him and stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty clear, like again, like with CZ and the guy that owned Mount Gox, there's like different types of personalities, and you can see that what he wants, like his vision for the games comes from a frustration that if you have worked like I did in the gaming industry, you would realize that it's very valid, you know. It came from a frustration, the fact that, you know, this game was built because of the way that the current centralized gaming companies work, the way they work. It's very flawed and it's not innovative, and it's just basically regurgitating the same fucking shit over and over and over again, just eating, puking and eating the same fucking puke. It's fucking ridiculous. And yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. I'm so happy that you guys came and like I had somebody to chat with. This game is so much better when you have somebody to talk to. Be right back. is back. So yeah, regarding what we talked about earlier, I think a big part of investing into crypto is project is investing in the team and the team behind the project and the owner of the project itself. Just a summary of what we were talking about earlier regarding Cliff and like Binance and FTX. Like, have you guys, like, I literally want to, you know, hear some opinions about FTX because it seems like the best exchange ever. And not only that, but like I actually, you know, not even regarding FTX or that, but the story of the guy that is behind FTX is he's pretty eccentric, you know, like I guess Vitalik you would say in a way, but he's a pretty grounded person, I would say. So that goes a long way in the crypto space. Yeah. I also wanted to talk a little about your opinions regarding what is happening with the current cycle of the market. Because I don't really think that it's quite that obvious what is happening, right? And it's clouded by real world issues like our real world financial systems. I'm saying real world, that's not even like a good term to use in here, like real world, like the current financial system that we have and the issues surrounding it. I think that they and you it's not only that, but it's currently affecting crypto in the same way it's currently affecting everything else, like tech stocks and the S&P and shit like that. The thing is that, yeah, I really think this is more of a shake the weak hands, you know, kind of cycle, for me at least. I mean, weak hands are like, I completely feel for this guy. I'm not trying to be any sort of like, cause dude, it's hard, right, when something like that happens, right? But weak hands in the sense that they took out loans, mortgages, leverage with X, so they basically were more greedy than calculated in their risk-taking approach. So shaking out the high riskers, right? So this is a cycle that shook out all the risky investors, and it's in that sense it's shaking out the weak hands in crypto, the more risky investors. Whoa, DMD, hello. You can decrease your action scale bar in settings. Game gives you a few centimeter room to kite. Oh yeah, so true, so true. So like I did this for this view. I really don't like it when it's that small, but like look at this. You can literally get so much room to kite in this view just by I just need to remember. So okay, let's put it at 50%, right? Like look how much room I have to kite right now. The only thing that I hate is the fact that the map buttons stay right here, although it's not bad because you don't want to click on your character, right? So I would say that it's actually pretty good that they stay on top of your character in this view. But then you can like, so you want to kite melee, right? Let's find the melee mob and I'll show you how. Okay, so these are all melee mobs, right? Look, like can literally, you have no problem kiting them in this sense. So what you're doing when you're playing melee is you want to juke their attacks, right? And then hit. And then you have the camera angle and you can spin around. Okay, so juke attack, hit. See? You can totally do it in this camera angle as well. Matt, yeah, I could do that more now, I think, because I know what's in my bars without much trouble. When I started, I needed, because I recognize it. Yep, true. Side game BRB, cool, because we don't need all the width. Side game bar. Yeah, I don't exactly know what you're referring to. So what's up, DMD? Dude, I am struggling to catch up to you again, man. I'm really struggling. I'm struggling to catch up back up to your level. DMD, not much, bruh. Just doing a few runs before school runs. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know, you're getting a lot of runs in these days, DMD, a lot of runs. Like, I took a little month break and now I'm like, I have to catch up again. Lol, gotta pump those numbers, but yeah, man, you're pumping it really hard. Don't dump it afterwards. Don't pump and dump. Okay, so I wanted to make the action bar back to 90. Okay, this is not a dead end, not great. Yeah, I don't even know, like, I was thinking, like, I would like to have some levels in the new update, you know, so I can enjoy the new content at the same time, you know, not like just, okay, I don't need levels, I'm just gonna try this, I'm gonna, you know. I wanted to see the XP gains as well, you know, with the new maps and new content and new stuff. So I don't think I want to be level 120 before the update, but at the same time I see all you guys are getting so close. I don't want to be left out. I mean, I'm gonna say that I'm a pretty competitive person in the sense that you know, competitiveness towards, you know, getting better at something, or, you know, like, I'm not competitive in a negative way, I would say, but I'm pretty competitive, and I want to, you know, be there in the top. And you guys been putting a lot of work. I think a lot of growth can come from competitivity, and that's the way I enjoy using it. I always liked, you know, to push a little bit harder in that sense. And it goes the same for, I mean, I take this mentality to my workplace and everything else, you know, like, I enjoy, you know, competing with somebody towards, you know, achieving the same goal, who who can do it better. It's like an incentive to improve and adapt. But yeah, talking about the crypto markets, because I see you guys don't want to give me your thoughts on FTX, if you even used it or not. My thoughts about the crypto market is that we hit a bottom, and for the last day we've been trading sideways. So like I am currently thinking that this is going to be going on for a few months, if not less. But like this sideways trading, if we don't go lower, I I don't know, to be honest. You know, this for me are just great opportunities, and the lower it goes, the better the opportunities. So I'm like, I try to take full advantage, and I, you know, like I don't really see it as a bad thing. Although exactly like I was saying earlier, all the riskier investments are now feeling the pressure. So, but for me, it's actually very. It gives a lot of dopamine, let's say, when the market goes down, especially as hard as it went right now, because it means it's time for me to act, right? Um, so the thing is that I do believe that the current financial system is not going to allow, and we haven't seen, like, I don't it's not going to allow for a bear winter, let's put it at that. Like, I don't think the market is going to trend downwards. It's just going to take a few months to shake out all the weak hands, right? And then it's gonna have to go up again. And why I'm saying this is because of how our financial system is behaving right now, right? So I don't see how our financial system will allow for a bear market right now. Like, shaking out, like, there's, when I'm talking about risky investment, it's like especially people that took loans out, okay? Took loans out to invest into crypto. Those people like now are forced to liquidate their position at a loss, so that, you know, they can pay out those loans. So that's what I'm talking about, like, in the sense of weak hands. And once we pass that milestone, the market is going to gradually shoot back up, just because is going to be forced by inflation and all the hyperinflation that is currently in real world assets, like real estate and other stuff, you know. So like, and even if you look at the Nupal chart, right, the net unrealized profit loss chart from Glassnode, we 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 still are in the green, and this is the first cycle that we hit euphoria under the under the so we hit euphoria and went down without anybody really having a profit, you know, not be so there's not a lot of people in profit, and yet we hit the euphoria and we went back down, right? So like, for me, this is not a complete market cycle like the previous ones, and at the same time it's not the same financial situation with our current system that is to allow for a normal cycle to behave like it behaved in the previous cycles, right? So there's definitely something different about this cycle. That's why I wouldn't say a bear trap per se. I would say it's more like of a correction, right? A correction that is much needed, because there were too many new people coming into crypto, taking huge risks with it, right? And unfortunately for them, they have to reanalyze the risk that they took, because they obviously they couldn't sustain that, right? So they are being forced out of the market and out of their positions. Okay, Magzi, the multiplier will help too. Matt, I feel the maps need balancing. Better IRIM gives better virtual loot than caverns, more skill XP, etc. Yet caverns is a higher map. People will buy Magzi. People will buy things to keep up with friends. Don't use FTX just. I mean, DMD, you're a pretty versatile, like, and experienced person in this space. And why like, I'm currently, I started, using a little bit Binance. I got a crypto card as well. I didn't really use it yet. I just want to have that option in case, something happens and I do need to access some of my funds. So, but I do believe I you are a trader as well, and I think I heard you somewhere on your stream saying that you have like a bot and stuff like that, and like I'm just curious. Like, I don't really want to. I'm just curious about your perspective. Uh, like, I enjoy taking calculated decisions. I don't really like to. And if I do take risk, I don't take them with high amounts, with large sums. I always take them with the lowest amounts, just to see, to, like, for me, a very important thing in life is taking lessons at the lowest price possible, because everything you learn has a price. It just depends how much you're willing to pay for it. And I'm even referring to relationships, right? And to, stuff like that. Like, it's the amount, you know you are willing to invest, as it even goes for relationship, into invest in another person, to see if they would behave in the way that you expect them or not. Like, if you don't know how they're gonna behave, you want to try and create a scenario. And like I said, creating this scenario is basically the price that you have to pay. So it doesn't only uh, limit to the money, in the lessons that you pay during your lifetime, right? It's also emotional. It's also, so DMD. I like Nance. It has its issues, but onboarding and offboarding is pretty cool. So Nance, I've never heard about it. I will definitely take a look at it. I believe it is an exchange, so I'll take a look at it. Oh, you mean Nance as in Binance, right? Oh, yeah, and then you type Nance equals Binance, yeah. It took me a few seconds, right? But onboarding and offboarding is pretty cool. What do you mean by onboarding and offboarding? You mean the fiat ramps? Because, like, I feel, yeah, at the same time, like I said, this is the first year that I actually connected my real credit card from my bank with Binance. And I've been using Binance since 2018, let's put it at that. So, uh, yeah, I like the fact that they offer me the, like, for BNB at least I can buy it in my country's currency. I also know from a friend that if you buy in euros, even if you don't, like, for my bank, like, we can have, euro account, or for, in my case, Leo. This is my currency, the RON. So RON account, and it's like, if you even if you don't have an, like, cause I canceled my euro account, like, I think in the start of the year, because I was not using it, and I was paying, maintenance on it. And the thing is that he told me that it basically it even if you buy other currencies in euros, it does the conversion from RON to euro in the background. So that's decent for my bank at least. I don't know exactly because I always hated doing that because of the commissions and stuff like that. But then again, when you take money out of Binance, you also pay commissions. So it's like trying to minimize, the commissions is one way of saving money, right? It's like folding a poker hand. Yo, Necro, what's up? Okay, so well, do you do fiat or you do stable coin, right? Do you keep your money in the market so you can take advantages of, stuff like it's happening now, or like you basically just take the money out, use it, make more money, and then invest the extra into crypto? And I guess I don't know. Okay, this is the peppermint time. And this is one reason I was asking about FTX, because they have the lowest. They like have 80% lower fees than anybody else. I Even if it's like 80% lower, that is like not saying a lot. You still have fees, right? But like it's still lower than most. So basically, imagine it's 80% is like half, close to half. So it's a little bit more than half of, like, less than half, but it's still, if you if you because I don't have a lot of money on Binance, and you can clearly see the fees in that sense affecting me, but like I would guess it's kind of the same when transacting large sums. So DMD, and I can withdraw for a small fee with little hassle into a third party account, which I can then move to another third party bank account to avoid the tax man. Oh, so you're playing around to avoid the taxes. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, this is one reason that I took the card. I'm not really that versatile into taxing, because like I really haven't actually run anything on my own up until now. Well, up until now, I want to, obviously in the future, but until now I haven't done anything in that sense. So I'm not really that familiar with taxes. But the thing is that they were paid for me. I don't really use, like, I use crypto for myself right now as more of a savings bank, let's say, rather than like, a company where I have to take money out and pay taxes on that money. And what I understood, and I'm not like entirely sure, but like I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be this way, because like there's no tax on profit if you use it via the credit card from Binance, right? So just in the sense to avoid the tax on profit, I opted for the credit card option, just in case. So yeah, I really need to like start reading up, cause like from what I understand, Romania is basic, like it's that stupid, right? Like Romania basically uh, has the same tax laws on crypto as US, because we are fucking US little bitches. We are US's we are America's little bitch. That's what Romania is, and unfortunately, I do believe it's gonna backfire because of the Ukraine and Russia and everything situation. I'm just hoping. I don't even know what I'm hoping. I just hope it's not gonna be a bleak situation. Like I really can't really see how it can be anything good, but I just don't want it to be, you know, this, like, I don't even, it can be so bad, right? Hey Sovereign, I thought Blue Gram sucked all your energy out. It actually takes quite a little energy, to be honest. It's, I, before I bought it, I was expecting to eat a lot of energy as well, but it's actually pretty cheap. So DMD, just, yeah, always around 80-90% cash, then in and out of alts. What stablecoin you using? USDT. Not afraid of what to. So USDT is nothing like Luna. First of all, I don't know exactly how USDC, so USD coin works, but to be honest, with USDT being centralized is actually, and I'm not saying that it's good, but it's good for the current situation. Like, there's been, like, what I'm trying to get at with USDT, so with Tether, we are talking about Tether, the green one, right? Just so we are all clear. Like, the green one proved that over time, like, it had so many, you know, negative stuff aimed at it, and I'm not saying it's not true, but it proved to be, you know, to keep up with, like, it didn't fail until now, right? So it stood a little, it's not like a lot of time, but it stood a little bit during the test of time. So it had a lot of issues, right? So the thing is that there was a lot of money in 2018 and 19, and I think even 20, coming straight out of Tether and being injected into the market through Tether. And like, there was a lot of problems at that point with Tether, if the money was actually, you know, if Tether was actually backed by real money, because there was so many funds entering the market through Tether, and like, to be honest, nothing came out of it. So like, Tether didn't crash, the company is still running, and like, for me, of course, there's always that risk that one day audits may come and, you know, Tether will collapse just by the fact that somebody sees their bank balance and realizes that their bank balance is not, you know, there's like money coming out from their ass, let's say, like they're just printing money like the Fed, you know, with nothing to back it up, because they can totally do that. But there were a lot of money, like I said, being injected through Tether and in the market, and at the same time Tether is still alive, and at the same time it didn't collapse the market or affected the market in any way, right? So for me, it's a centralized company, but it's one that is actually the only kind of model that is working right now in the structure that we have. So like, the thing is that it's kind of, Tether is like in the same sense as a bank, you know, when they're like, they don't expect people, like, Tether will only crash if everybody from Tether goes to Tether, okay? So it goes to the, basically it just goes to the company and says, okay, I have this much amount of Tether, I want to take my dollars out, right? And in the sense that banks give loans out, Tether is the same way. Like, it's they can survive just because a lot of people are not going to take out their Tether straight out from the company, and they're gonna use it in the market, and it's basically offering liquidity in the market, right? So in that sense, it's not like if they're gonna say, okay, so there's 1 billion tether and it's actually only 900 million in US dollars, right? uh, that will not really affect the price of tether dropping that much under $1, right? Because it's still gonna be, and I actually be might just talking out of my ass here, because it can definitely trigger a domino effect like it happened with Luna. But Luna is like a completely different concept from Tether, right? So like Tether, in the sense, it will be completely responsible if that happens, and they will be, forced to, by the law, to give the money back to people if something like that happens. And at the same time, I don't think, even if that happens, all the money that is in Tether is gonna be like, Tether can't really get wiped out, it's still gonna be used. But again, it's just so many new stuff, it's such as the uncharted space that you only can make, like, for me, the way I think about stuff is just I try to make at least 2 scenarios and then make plans for each, right? So sovereignty, okay, USDT, not afraid of what happened. Nah, USDT is pegged to the dollar and gets rebalanced every few weeks. They had one yesterday. But if they look dicey in Tether, then I just switch to USDC. Yeah, exactly. Because it can be dicey. It can be dicey even right now, but until it is proven to be dicey, there's no problem, right? So that's the thing. So the majority of time, euro, till I see an up, then move out to USDT. So I keep myself safe that way. The dollar that bought Tether, the dollar value that bought Tether. So for every one USD, $1 is put into liquidity pool. Yeah. So basically, the way Tether works is like so this is the thing, right? Because they have the money that is out in the market, right? But if you want to print more Tether coins, you give the money to the company. And they, based on the amount of dollars that you have, that you gave to the company, they will print you tokens. It's that simple. So each Tether, officially, like legally, should be backed by $1 in the bank in Tether, in the company, right? That's basically the idea of how Tether works. But I really don't and it's too much for me right now to actually understand what you are doing DMT with Euro and Tether. So, but yeah, I'm not at that level yet, so I won't even you know. I'm not like that much into trading. For me, being like, I have some financial background from my education, I would say, although it's not what you would expect. But still, I'm like, for me, one strategy that I'm comfortable with is like investing small amounts over longer periods of time, right? So I don't really have to keep up with everything and constantly, I like it. I like to use it in a more passive way. I would just put it at that. I would like to use my crypto investment in as passively as I can, right? That's my whole goal. Okay, so DMD. Luna USD was created out of nothing, hence why it got wrecked. It wasn't backed by anything and its algo couldn't handle the drop. Okay, I'm learning a lot. Nice, Sovereign. I'm happy we have good content, good discussions. Like, you should totally follow DMD as well, because there's a lot of good discussion going on when he streams as well. So yeah, the story with Luna is it's an algorithmic coin, and they try to anticipate the this if there's a scenario like this where the market goes into bearish territory. From what I understood, the value of Luna could have dropped 70% by the time it would affect the peg, right? But it dropped even lower, right? And to even like, and this is bad because there were pension funds, there were hedge funds that were into Luna. This is not something like this is something real bad and real major. There weren't like a little bit of, you know, random Chad investors in it. There were institutions in it, and the fact that they had another backup plan. So Luna, they had like this 70% drop, you know, and by that time they also could avoid dropping the peg by. So they bought Bitcoin, right? They bought Bitcoin just in case, so that they could stabilize the peg, just in case of what happened, and it proved not even to work, right? It didn't even do anything. It's one factor could be because they acted a little bit too late with the funds, and another factor that you should take into consideration, like you're backed by Bitcoin, right? This is the stupid part, right? Because when a bear market comes, Bitcoin is gonna crash as well, right? And you are backing your currency in Bitcoin. So if your currency drops 70%, which is your estimated, you know, failure point, right? Over 70%, it's your failure point, right? Bitcoin is also gonna drop. If your coin drops 70% and it's Bitcoin, that's gonna happen in a bear market, right? If your coin drops 70%, right? So Bitcoin is gonna drop as well, and it's not gonna drop like 70%, but it's still gonna drop at least, let's say, 40 to 50, right? But then what happens? You have it backed in fucking Bitcoin. If you have it backed in Bitcoin, you need to sell that Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is already at like a 40-50% loss, right? What happens then? You push fucking Bitcoin price even lower. Your funds are already cut in half by the fact that Bitcoin dropped 50%, right? You're dropping it even lower. So you're literally bleeding money everywhere, and you want to invest that money to stabilize the peg for Luna and USDT. So it was like a completely failed, you know, plan from the start. You know, I to be honest, like, from this happening is the first time I actually looked at Luna. I knew, I heard Luna. I had no idea what it did. I had no idea it had a stable coin. Like, I didn't even know it existed. It wasn't even on my radar. Like, yeah. So, but just, it was like disaster, catastrophe over catastrophe, right? The way that they planned it out. Already followed both DMD. Thanks. So the company that created Luna had purchased BTC to back it in case something like this happened. They had a safety fund, right? They had the safety fund in BTC. If they would have had it in gold, it would have been better, okay? It would have been more sustainable. But once they have it in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin crashes not at the same rate as the other cryptocurrency, but crashes as well, you know? Like, it's not really that stable. So how can you bail out if you, like, if you, your stable fund is fucking losing 50%? You know, it's like, it's the domino effect. It's a domino effect. Like, it might had a chance if they would have had it in gold, right? If they would have had the safety fund that they said they had, not in Bitcoin, but in gold. So it would not, like, cause we were talking about earlier putting all your eggs in one basket. Well, basically Luna did that because they put all their eggs in cryptocurrency, right? So it if it would have been backed by gold, like if they could at least stabilized it because they wouldn't drop at the same rate, even though our financial system is collapsing. The crypto space is actually dropping faster because it's smaller, it's more volatile because it's smaller, and you know, having your crypto backed by other cryptocurrency, like, no. You know, like, no. What are you thinking? When you say BTC back Luna, BTC is not an entity. BTC cannot back anyone. The company that owns Luna bought BTC and held it as a safety fund, you know, in case something like this happens, so they could stabilize the peg it had. Like, it's very hard to explain. Like, you need to understand how Luna and this kind of stuff works, where, like, if there's demand, so what DMD was saying, there's nothing backing Luna up other than demand. So like, people that people were basically buying Luna, right? And depending on what price they bought, it's even like, it's so like so basically, if the Luna token, okay, so if the Luna token was worth due to demand, right? Because there's nothing driving it other than demand, right? If the Luna token was being held and its demand got it up to $10, you could get like $10. You could mint, so you understand, you destroyed the Luna token that was worth $10 and you get 10 USD Terrat coins, right? And the way that, I guess, this was supposed to work and incentivize people to, you know, create demand, in this sense, to incentivize people to hold, so that that in turn would create demand, was that if you would buy Luna today for $10, right, and you held it, and there were more people buying in, because this is like, everything is like a pyramid scheme. Like, if you don't have people that buy in after you don't do anything. You can't fucking do anything, right? So like, you basically bought Luna at $10, you held it for, I don't know, a period of time, and then it went to $100, and then for that Luna you can get 100 USD tokens, right? So it's basically kind of like that, right? And then if you have USDT, you can mint Luna, right? You can take that USDT, I mean USD Terra, right? So you can take that USD and mint Luna, and you destroy the USDT. But like I said, it's in a way, it's a pyramid scheme, in the sense that if there's nobody else buying after you, right? Like, it can't be sustained, right? So it's clearly obvious when people starting to get out of Luna, it simply created the domino effect in which it collapsed. And I do believe they didn't really act in time, in the sense that, although it was bound to fail from the start, like I said, you have Bitcoin backing it up, which Bitcoin is also gonna drop in a bear market. Like, where have you fucking been for the last 10 years, right? So yeah, I know Dai has some stable coin. Like Dai is really old and stuff like that, but it's one of the first stable coins and it's backed by gold. Like I really haven't been using much stable coins, and I don't really like to take big risks, like I said. So I don't really like to, sell my crypto at all-time high, to USDT or something like that, and then buy up during a bear market and then get profit like that. I want to start doing that, and I'm gonna start doing that. That's with Binance, pretty, I guess, in the future. But again, with low amounts of money, because it's very hard to predict up and down trends, right? Trends, not really. Long trends, not really, but short term trends are really not that easy to predict. So DMD and stake Luna to keep Luna price at a price that you said big was crazy. Yeah. So this was triggered by Arc. Who the collapse was triggered by Arc, who had like by locking Luna so they can loan out Luna, not Luna, but the USD Terra coin, right? They were using this model where they were basically gonna lose some money. They were gonna give money out of their pockets with a 20% API during the first months just to get users in, and eventually they were gonna drop the rates. The thing is that too many people got in. It went like, and it was unsustainable straight from the first month, right? So yeah, like again, these companies should try and understand risk better, because like if I can understand that backing fucking Luna with Bitcoin is like redundant during a bear market, like you have people that invest billions, you manage billions of fucking dollars, like why would you not try to anticipate the risks? Hello there, mysterious nest. Like I said, when you deal with crypto, just at my 2 cents is just try to acknowledge two possible scenarios at least, and have a plan for each. Then you will not be caught off guard, right? That's just like the most basic thing you can do is you can anticipate, okay, if it goes up I do this, if it goes down I do this, but always have the two scenarios in mind. And certainly you can add more scenarios in there, but like having a minimum of two, it's is the bare minimum to get you through the crypto space. If you cannot, you know, if you buy something and you only have one single perspective and expectation, if that doesn't play out, like with the guy that came in and started, talking about how he lost his house, like, and all his life savings, right? Came in Los Relics and started to talk about that. If you only look at it from one way, then that is certainly what is going to happen to you. So Sovereign, thank you, DMD. So Sovereign, how long have you been in the crypto space? How old are you, by the way? Are you in your 20s or in your 30s or higher? Nice, 26. Oh my god, man. That the 20s are the best time. A year on crypto space, any trading trips? Well, I already kind of told you all the tips that I have, right? Like that I had on my mind, like and all the tips that correlate with the current situation, right? So two scenarios is very important. Always, it's not even having a backup plan. It's just, you know, anticipating. Like it can literally go any direction, right? Luna is a clear example of this. You can't be 100% right all the time. So you always have to like have not a backup plan, but like you need to know what to do in both a good or a bad situation, right? And another lesson, I guess, is the when I talked about taking the lessons at the lowest price possible. You don't need $100,000 to understand how the market moves. You can have $100 in the market and it will behave the same way. And as soon as you get the confidence that you know what you're doing with $100, then it's infinite. You can do the same thing with $1,000, with $100,000, with $1,000,000. But at the same time, you need to understand also that when you go from $100 to $1,000,000, there with $1,000,000 you might have liquidity problems. You know, the higher the amount, it also depends on the amount of the market cap of the coin. But like the gist is that you can learn the same things for $100 and not be completely wiped out, right? With by lose your life savings and everything. You can build up the confidence with $100, and then you can trade $100,000 if you know what you're doing with that $100, right? But at the same time, I'm not saying you make one, like the confidence doesn't come from one successful trade. The confidence, I can say you can start believing in confidence after you've experienced at least one full market cycle. Okay, so a full market cycle, if you got in last year, then you got in when everybody else got in at the peak, right? For me, the last year crypto didn't even exist, man. You know when crypto existed for me? Crypto started to come back into my life in March 2020. And after March 2000, like at the end of 2021, during the end of 21, I literally didn't even care about crypto anymore, right? Because there was no point for me. Like that's what you need to understand. You need to experience a full market cycle so to actually understand what is happening with crypto. So when you got into crypto was the last thing on my mind, right? I like understand. I looked at crypto when when it started to bear. Like exactly when it started to bear, I started looking at crypto because for a good investment you need to buy low, right? So you always want to look at the market when it's in the bear, right? And you always want to sell when it's in the bull. So like for me, that I wasn't going to sell on the bull market. Like I said, I wasn't going to convert my crypto in the bull market to USDT, for example, and then buy during the market. I just wanted to buy and hold at this point. So I didn't care about the bull run. I just started to care right now when it crashed because it's an opportunity for me to get in. And like, look, everything is at a discount right now, right? So like all the projects that you've been looking at over the last year since you started to get into crypto, and you have been studying all the projects that you've been studying, now it's the time to get into them, right? The projects that you believe in. Now it's the time to buy, right? This is the you are basically look at Solana. It went from 250 under to now $40 to under $50. You're getting it at the 5x discount. You're getting it five times cheaper, right? Than you would have got it last year. Just in that sense, if you have something that you believe in, you now it's probably a good time to buy. And again, when you buy, don't buy like, and it goes both ways. For I will tell you a personal example. But for me, I like to spread my investment in at least three. So in at least so let's say I have $1,000, right, to invest right now. What I would do with that $1,000, I would split it into $330 each and invest it 3 times during a period of it depends on the periods, I guess, but like I would for 1 month look at the market really close, okay, and at the coin that I want to buy, and I would split my money into 3 parts and then periodically buy, because then you can like, so let's say I first buy on the downtrend, right? So let's take Solana from 250 to $50, for example. Like, okay, so I buy Solana when it goes down. Okay, I decide $70 is a good time for my first, $330 to buy in. So I buy Solana at $70. Okay, I then look for the next few days what happens, if it goes up or down, and then I take the decision, is this going to go up any higher or go down any lower? So I'm either going to buy again at $40 like it is now, right? So I bought one time at 70 and I bought one time at 40. So now my initial position in the coin is buying in at $50, right? So I didn't spend all my money at $70. I didn't spend all my money at 40. And the average is basically I paid $50 per coin, right? And now if it goes down even more, I have the opportunity to even better my position to, so let's say it goes down to $30, right? Then I buy the third time I buy at $30, and then I bought in my position at $40, right? But then again, if it goes up and I buy again at $70, because it goes up, it doesn't go down any lower. Instead of 50, then I would have 60. So I bought in at 60, 2 times at 70 and 1 time at 50, right? It goes around like 60, 65, right? So this is the way you have to think about it. You have to think about the position you want to enter that coin in and exit at. The position being the price. I don't know, I talked a lot and I haven't read chat. I hope I'm not ranting randomly and I'm trying to make sense. I am making sense with what I'm saying. My throat got really dry. Just 1 second, I need to go get something to drink and then I will read everything that you wrote, and 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's let's read. Okay, I just bought into Engine today. It's a very fucking good buy, man. Imagine Engine was at $4.5 a few months ago, so now it's $50 at 50 cents. It's just, sorry, an amazing buy. So DMD, work out your risk reward. Keep an eye on the past places of buying interest via volume. And don't put in more than you can afford to lose, and stay away from futures. Don't buy pumps, wait for the dumps. Build your portfolio so that what you diversified and get in before the big moves happen. Yep. Yeah, that's the reason I bought Engine, because I never seen it as low. Very nice. It's a good perspective. It's a good way of thinking about it. I learn a lot on NFT game projects like X. Yeah, right. Just I think I'm good that I bought few Engine now. Yes, very good. Yeah, a lot of sense to think. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad I have the opportunity, to share a little bit of my experience and help somebody else with it, because like I wanted to give an example of this type of investment that you prolong over a period of time. So me, I started to buy at Ethereum at $200 up to $450, and so I think I bought like 4 times during this time when it went up. And for me, I can say that I averaged out around buying my ETH at $300, right? From 200 to 450. What I want to get at is the fact that even so, I didn't get the maximum out of my investment, right? Because I was buying on an uptrend, right? But at the same time, I want to give you an example. Like, if you do this more often than not, you will be better off, right? This is what I'm trying to get at. Like, I would have been, my highest return would have been to just put all my money in at one time when Ethereum was at $200, right? Okay. And I'm talking, this is not March, I think it's April. Yeah, it's April 2020, okay? April 2020, Ethereum at $200 in March, when Michael Saylor started talking about it, and started talking about it in the sense that it was a hedge against inflation. Ethereum was at $100, but he was talking about Bitcoin, right? But Ethereum in March 2020, like when I got into crypto in 2016, Ethereum was over $400. I never saw Ethereum in my life in this crypto space at $100. And in the same way that you never saw Engine at 50 cents, right? I haven't seen Engine at 50 cents in a long time either, right? And I know since it was like 30 or even less, maybe. I don't even know. I know an Engine, but I know about coins that I don't invest in, but I don't research them. I just know that they exist, right? And when I do the research, after I do my research, I start, investing. First of all, do your research. It's very important to do your research. But what I was trying to get at, my friend, and this is my friend that I told when I started buying in 2020, this is the friend that I told, get in now. This is like my best friend, right? So I had all the intention for him, to be successful, and I wasn't trying to get anything out of it. I just wanted him to be, to benefit from what I was benefiting, right? I didn't want anything else. I wanted him to, if something good is happening to me, I want you to be a part of it as well, right? Because you're my best friend. And it was a little bit back and forth in the sense that I was I was waiting for to buy, and basically I waited until and he spent the money that he wanted to invest during this time. And when I actually bought in, and I told him, he said that he didn't have money anymore, so he doesn't have anything to invest, right? So he didn't buy in 2020. What ended up happening to him is that he fell, and not from me, right? I haven't, like, I only told him that one time in 2020 because that was the moment you should have taken advantage of it, right? So I didn't tell him anything about crypto anymore since 2021, right? We haven't talked at all. But he saw people that were coming into he has like a jewelry shop, so there were people coming and paying with crypto for jewelry. There's a lot of talk, you know, about crypto where he's working, and so he felt pressure to get in, so he got in. And he got in not at the worst moment possible. He got in, I think, at the start of the year or something like that. He basically got in during the first dip of the market. So at least this was very smart of him, that he at least knew from me that you don't want to buy when it's green, you want to buy when it's red, right? So he bought when the first dip happened, and the first dip wasn't that significant, okay? So the first dip, it didn't look like we were in a bear market, right? With the first dip, it had potential to go up again, right? So he bought the first dip, and what he did is that he wasn't familiar with anything in this space, right? And he just straight out invested 5,000 euros, right? So all the money that he had, the first time, you are not familiar with this space, you have never did a transaction, you don't know how Bitcoin works, but you are willing to invest. And I'm gonna say 5,000 is a lot of money for him. Like, it's a lot of money for us, for me and him. It's not like you know, he could have bought a car, right? Although for me, a car is like the worst investment you can make. But, and not in the sense that, like, it is just a bad monetary investment, right? But like, he had stuff that he could do with that money other than, you know, just looking at it, right? So, or, you know, like, he invest. First of all, I'm trying to get at it, he invested more than he afforded to lose, right? So he invested 5k. Okay, it started to go down a little more, so his 5k now was 4k. Okay, and he said, like, okay, I should buy more. He ended up buying for 14k euros, so 14,000 euros. And he bought like stupid fucking coins as well. I think he bought Cadena and one. Those are the ones that I remember. So, like, he bought Cadena. If you don't, I'm not gonna even talk about those coins. But he made, like, he also invested into altcoins. First of all, if you're gonna do a big fucking investment, don't do a big fucking investment in altcoins. Play it right, like, I guess safe is the right way to put it. Play it safe and buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, or, like, those to me are kind of the only ones that prove themselves to, you know, to withstand the test of the market. So, like, no matter what happens, Bitcoin, especially right now since it's been adopted by institutions this last year, it's not gonna disappear, right? And it's certainly not gonna be affected by 99% loss. Okay, it has volatility, that's obvious, but you are not going to lose all your money on it. So it's the safer bet out of anything if you have 5k and you want to invest in cryptocurrency, right? But he didn't go that route. So, like, I'm gonna say it, like, straight away. Out of 14k that he invested in the last months, right now at this time, he has 4k left. So out of 14,000 euros, he has 4,000 euros left. And why is this? Because he fucking bought large amounts without measuring the market, without observing the market at one time. Right? It's not even about the position. If he would have split that 5k euros into 5 separate transactions, okay, and observed the market while he was making them, he would have been off a lot better, right? He would have mitigated his risk. So in that sense, for me, it was bad that I didn't buy straight in one transaction all the Ethereum that I wanted to buy, like for my fault, the 5. So listen to this. So I also invested 5k, but I invested 5k in April 2020, right? He invested 5k and then even more, but he invested 5k like at the start of this year. So like, even if for me, like, I still made 4 times the money, right? Because of when I bought in at the same time, but also because I bought into Ethereum, and Ethereum went to $4,800, right? And then it dropped 50%, but it dropped to so now it's like 1,900, right? But it dropped to 2,000. So I still have a 4x in there, right? I still made and kept 4 times the money that I made, right? So like it's very important to understand and to spread out your investments over a longer period of time while you observe the market, right? It's even if I took a loss and I didn't buy all the Ethereum at $200, right, and made like 8x and bought at $300, you know, because I spread my investment over time, that 5k that I had. I still managed to make money and not lose money, and not double my money, but 4 times my money, right? So you really need to like learn how to keep attention to the space. Okay, so let's read what where did we leave off? Sovereign. I think I'm good that I bought a few engine now. I think, yeah, it's a red. Thank you. Your voice is kind of low now. That's fucking good having F at $300. Yeah, I know. I'm listening. That work. Okay, so hope my volume is good now. I'm so happy. Like you can ask me anything, and you can also ask me anything about this game too. Like, I'm just happy, you know. It's so crappy to play this game and have nobody to talk to. But be right back for a second. whale comeback. Why you invested 2 LR? You got me to talk, bro. Yeah, that's nice. I also, like, while I was smoking a cigarette, I thought about some really cool shit I need to show you about the game. The thing is that Binance right now has its Solana transaction suspended, and this happened for I actually minted one NFT for this game already because I had the whitelist token that dropped in game. And I'm looking now to also use the public mint. Like, let's first talk about why I invested into Lost Relics. Okay, so for me, Lost Relics was actually one of the more I would say I learned, so over the span of 4 years I actually learned a lot about myself and how I take impulse decisions, and I can say that Lost Relics has been one of those investments that um, I would say I invested at around 30 to 25% emotionally. I really, I don't know, I'm also a very weird type. Like, I'm not a weird type, I guess. A weird type of gamer, I guess, but not really a weird type, I guess. When I play Lost Relics, I try to look at it as a game and not like, obviously I'm looking at the financial aspect, but I also did emotional buys, right? So let's take this axe for example. Like right now is at 2.3, okay, at 23k. This axe, like when the market started crashing, like I think I got this axe like 1.5 months ago or something like that, right? So the market wasn't completely dumped. I think engine was at around $1.50, 170 cents. So around $2, like something like that. The thing is that I I was like, for at least 1 or 2 days, is like, man, I know this is a good opportunity. I think this axe at 25k, it's a really good buy. I wasn't really expecting for the market to crash, and at the same time I do expect prices in Lost Relics to adjust to engine price, but that didn't happen as well, so that was like pretty interesting to observe. So I took out 0.25 Ethereum, which I did, like, I literally didn't want to take out any Ethereum to put in the game, right? But I said, okay, I think this is a good opportunity for me to invest into my character and build a strong character, right? So it started gradually with investing in this game. I first invested a few $100s, and what I learned from that is the fact that, okay, so I completely went the wrong way. What I learned from that is that converting engine to Geng, so I converted $200 worth of engine to Geng. If you don't know, Geng is basically Engine's layer 2 that the game these shadow stones are basically Geng, right? They're on the layer 2, so you need to convert engine to Geng, to J engine, to actually put money in the game. And converting from layer 1 engine to layer 2 J engine, that for it actually took me $200, right? So it took me $200 to convert $200. So from that I learned that when I if I want to put money in the game, I should put a large amount, right? Because the transaction fee is high, and otherwise it's not justifiable. The transaction fee, it's not even a transaction fee, it's just you basically move to another blockchain, right? In a sense that when you move to a layer 2, you basically move to another blockchain, let's say. Although it's not technically correct, you can think a bit of it that way. So like I did that with $200 just to see what's happening. I bought weapons. I bought epic weapons. So I bought a two-handed axe, and I bought a longbow and a few relics, right? The blue ones that are really good. And with a small amount, you can actually clear the whole game with them for a small amount of like investment, small amount money-wise, right? So the next time I bought in, I actually put $2,500 in the game. And I'm saying $2,500 because I had 100 Uniswap tokens that were not really doing anything for me and I said that I'm gonna move this stale investment into the game, and I'm gonna be able to, you know, play the game and make more money like that. So the thing is that I'm not unlucky in the game like other people, but I can't say I'm as lucky as some people. I can say that it's pretty decent. So like, let's say with 1000 engine, like I literally invested 1300 engine in the game. And I'm talking in engine because I cannot assume how much money in dollars that is, or it might have been, but I know exactly how many coins I put in the game, because the price, like for example, when I put a blockchain, there we go. So the first time I put this blockchain startled me. I don't even I don't remember exactly what the fucking blockchain. It's just the fact that this could have been a transcendent because it came from a chest. I haven't seen a transcendent in this game yet. So yeah, basically, so I have like 2000 something engine in the game right now. So I basically, with 1000 engine, I made another 1000 engine. Let's say with 1300 engine, I made 700 engine. Let's put it at that. So for me, the investment wasn't bad, but obviously in dollar terms, like if you take it in coin terms, like I made engine. Like I didn't lose engine, I made engine. But if you take it into fiat terms, I lost a lot of money, right? A lot of money. So when I was talking about I put $2,500 in the game, I don't even have that anymore in the game, right? But like when I did that, like engine was at around 3.5 up to $4. So yeah, and I'm saying 2,500 because I basically used Uniswap, which if you don't know and if you're new to the space, Uniswap is the first decentralized exchange. So it basically only works for Ethereum based tokens. So you won't be able to swap anything else but Ethereum tokens in it. And what I did is I swapped my Uniswap that was worth $25 at the time, and I had 100 of them. I swapped them to engine, and I think that gave me around 900 engine, right? And again, when I put this 900 engine in the game, I was still a noobish in the sense that I didn't experience the whole game, which proved out to be proved out to be bad in the sense that I bought legendary items thinking that okay, with these legendary items there I can go into every dungeon and I can clear every dungeon, even the higher ones like I'm doing right now, right? So in these dungeons you can't wear uh, I mean you can wear mythical and transcendent items, right? But you can still have this like it's barely like 1 minute difference between transcendent and legendary. Well, mythical, because with transcendent it's even faster. But let's keep it at that. So it's not a big, huge gameplay difference, right? So if you think about it, a transcendent in this game is like owning a Lamborghini, right? It's very rare and expensive. But me being a noob and not understanding that the end game for me is going to be grinding these maps, I invested my money into legendaries, right? Not and that's the thing, because if I would have been smart, I would have just bought one item, that being a transcendent. Okay, so that was the first mistake I did with investing in this game. Then it was the second time where I put the 300 inch that I was talking about when I converted to zero. I think it was 0.15, not 0.25 Ethereum. I think it was 0.15 Ethereum. So when I bought this, right, because I understood that okay, uh, mythicals and transcendents are a way better investment in this game than legendaries, right? And now what happened is that the game, for me at least, didn't move fast enough with its updates, and I've always wanted to take out my initial investment in the game to actually, you know, have a more, I guess I would say, you know, positive experience, in the sense that I'm, you know, I I I basically put some money in, took my initial investment out, and now the game is just making money for free. So that's what I was trying to do, and I started selling, and I did this right before the market dipped, so I was lucky. Okay, I would take in the luck factor, correlated very highly for me right now with this game, because I sold most of my stuff before the prices and engine started to crash. But that the thing is that that is not even important, the engine price. But before, basically, I'm gonna tell you that this bow, when I wanted to buy it 2 months ago, people were asking 900 engine for it. Okay, and now I managed to get it for 650 engine, right? And I got it only because I started to sell my legendary items that I wasn't using, and I was just keeping it in the stash. Because like my thought was like, okay, I have all the items, I can play all. I also have this like, I wanted to experience all the builds that I can in the game to find the best, the most suitable gameplay for me and the most efficient gameplay. I also worked a lot in the gaming industry. I worked a lot as a game tester, so I am keen to looking for, I wouldn't say exploits, but probably the best strategy to approach, you know, a grind. Because if you know anything about testing a game, is you literally, you know, play the same stuff over and over again over different iterations and bug fixes, but it's basically like grinding Xenatil, right? So for me the game didn't move fast enough, and I felt like my items were just sitting there and they were they were losing their value, and I couldn't make nothing with them, in the sense that I wanted to take out my initial investment in the game and put it towards staking, right? So what ended up happening for me is I did another impulse fucking thing, and is that I saw the market, the in-game market because I want to be very clear about this. I saw the in-game market crashing, and what my little stupid brain did is like I figured, and now to be honest, it's not so bad because like even if I moved, I would have taken out the money and put it to staking. I would have had to convert it, right? So I would have lost my position into engine first of all. So I would take a loss there that I was willing to accept just to put the money to staking and not having sit in the game. But then I thought like, okay, everything is going down. Maybe I can get this bow at the price that I actually wanted to buy it at, right? So at 650 engine. My luck was that I put the order in and it was an instant buy. So somebody already was liquidating their stash, right? So I managed to get it for the price that I actually wanted to get it at. And now the fact that I don't have all those items that I had in my stash that were like literally not, I had nothing to use them on, I wasn't playing with them and they just kept losing value, I managed to convert them in the game into a better asset like this bow, right? So I guess it worked out in the end for me. We still don't know exactly, but I think it is way better to have like for me to have converted most of my legendary items that were doing nothing into a single item that actually, you know, gives me some dopamine and helps me in the game and has a lot more scarcity and has more intrinsic value, okay, rather than like 10. Of course, you know, like those 10 legendaries, just by holding them, right? So let's say I gave 10 legendaries for one mythical bull. Those 10 legendaries could have, like, one of them could have actually become really, really powerful and expensive because of that with an update, right? So I had more diversification, if you would say. It's like holding 10 altcoins instead of putting all your money in one altcoin, right? So if one of them goes up, it can like save you the loss on all those other 9 coins that you invested in, right? But at the same time, like, now converting this into this one item, now I use it, I'm not taking it out of the game, so it feels a lot more, it feels a lot better, and I don't feel like I lost, you know, value in terms of potential value in terms of the what this bow can give me when the update comes. So my first mistake in Lost Relics is that I went for all the items in the legendary tier, and then I started progressing towards acquiring mythical items. I should have just went straight for one transcendent. So I don't know if you can get any value from my mistake, but that's just my experience with Lost Relics at this point. Um, so that's why I invested first of all, because I had a stale investment, right? That wasn't doing much. I wanted to make something with it, so I put the money in the game, and by doing that I actually almost doubled the investment, right? And again, this is not visible with because of the amount of it's not visible in dollars, okay? It's not visible in fiat. I actually lost in fiat, but I won in crypto, okay? I doubled my amount of coins. So if the market goes back up and again engine is at 4 coins, right, then I didn't really lose anything. I actually made money. I doubled my money, right? So it's more of a patience game at the same time. So it's a lot, it's a lot, it's a lot, and what I want to get at is that it's very subjective in, it's like the experience with investing in, like, for me, I can say I've been lucky and I didn't lose a lot, but I know people can lose a lot of money too with items in this game. So I can say I'm pretty happy with the outcome that I had until now with this game, because it can still crash, like Luna. Like, I mean, nothing is like super certain, but at the same time, like, you have to identify your own opportunities, right? And if my experience can help you guide into making decisions, then I'm very happy that I managed to get my experience to you, you know. So like, I can't say that. That's what I'm trying to get. I can't say what is good to do or not to do. I can only tell you what I did and what outcome I had from doing it, right? For me, I am very comfortable with the outcome. I can't say I made a win, I can't say I made a loss. I explain to you why, but I am content with the outcome. But it might help you, evaluate your decision making when you are, playing this game, right? So that's one way to think about it. And now I am going to read chat because I couldn't stop talking until now. I don't know, I hope you got something out of it. Tell me if you want. I'm gonna read the chat now. Tell me if you want me to go more in depth for about anything that I said, right? Okay. Can you increase your voice volume? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I know, Jen. I've done a few transactions. Glad on blockchain. Thank you. Hey, Juicy, know anyone who is new to the game, like just started? Yeah, just go. No, not really, Matt. Actually, I don't really know anybody that, but I think you can find a lot of people like that in the general channel. I really don't understand. Like, the mic volume should be fine. Should I turn down the music volume? I think the music volume was the problem. Ah, god damn it. I think now it's better. Yeah, it was because of the music volume. I hope it wasn't hard for you to hear what I was saying because of the music volume. I just realized that it was a little bit higher because, like, in the start, like, and yesterday as well, like, nobody tuned into the stream, and I literally had nothing to discuss about, or I had no topics set up to talk about, first of all, so, like, I just turned out up the music and forgot about it. So yeah. So, Sovereign, do you want me to get a little bit more in depth into anything that any of my purchases in Lost Relics? Because I want to show you something cool, yeah, now. I want to talk about, like, I don't want to, like, say that you should get in or something like that, but I just want to show you what I'm doing right now because I found another blockchain game that seems interesting, and I want to talk about because I know you said about Axie and stuff like that. I want to talk about a little bit about those type of games with I don't know if you ever heard about CryptoKitties, right? But CryptoKitties was basically the first project that came out with minting a third NFT because you own two NFTs, right? So it came out with breeding as a concept, right? And to be honest, for me, this model is just one of the most stupidest models that, and it's only stupid because everybody's it's adopting it as a template. Like, when you work in the gaming industry like me, you identify, and if you play a lot of games, you certainly identify templates of patterns, and templates in the sense that uh, the games are basically the same. They just have different gameplay or different assets, right? So they look different. they're based in a different, fantasy world or have a different story behind them. But every free to play game, let's keep it at free to play, has the same fucking copy paste uh mechanics behind it, right? So for me, when I saw everybody adopting this crypto kitty breeding system into all the not even free to play, because they're not free to play, these crypto games like that, but into the crypto games, it's just redundant to the point that they feel forced to implement this. Why would you implement this system? Like, and I want to talk about why would you implement this system in a like this model of a system in a fucking in STEPEN, if you ever heard about STEPEN. Yeah, other investments. Yeah, that's what I want to show you, because I want to like I it's the first game that actually minted an NFT on, right? Like, I'm gonna show it to you in just 1 second. Let me get out of this dungeon so I can show it to you. Ooh, Serela. Serela. I was expecting a boss, but and dropped the key. Great. Good job, Serela. So yeah, actually this is the first game I actually minted and participated in the minting, in the Genesis mint, like. And from what I see with the game right now, it doesn't have a breeding system, which I'm like, I don't even expect, to get something out of the game. I just want to see if it what it's one of those projects that I mean, I don't expect returns a lot or big returns. I just want to see how the returns work, right? That's all I want to do. And he fucked me. Why you fuck me? Why you fuck me? So from it just I just want to, like, for me personally, I would give myself 2 3 months in time to see what the potential of the game is. So I actually managed to play a little bit and got whitelisted, so I minted one NFT. So this is the game, and just let me make it a little bit. Okay. Okay, so this is the game. So the public mint is going on right now. I participated in the previous mint, this one, early access mint. In this one I did for 1 sol. So you had 2 tokens that were dropping in game. The legendary tokens, you could mint items for zero point 0.6 Solana, and I got an epic and I could mint for 1 Solana, right? And now the public sale is going on, and the mint cost for the public sale it's 1.5, right? And this is what I'm saying, like, right now Binance has Solana transactions suspended, but I hope in the span of uh, 1.5 day I can manage to take out 1.5 Solana so I can mint one character, because the thing is that I really wanted to mint a character. I can go a little bit in depth about how the game works and why I wanted to mint a character. But when I tried to mint a character in the early access here in the community mint, I basically was waiting for the timer, and when the timer ended, I was trying to get a character mint because I thought they were gonna sell out in minutes, right? And also there was that problem with the congestion, like on Solana network. That's why Binance has Solana transactions withdrawals suspended. So I panicked a little bit because in the first 5 minutes, and that's how stupid I was. Like, I still do mistakes, right? I still act on emotion, which, as much as you try to control it, it sometimes it just overpowers you. So I was trying to mint a character NFT, and I got 2 times error. So then I said, let's see if I get exactly what the fuck I did with the purchase of that mythical bow. I said, okay, let's see if I can mint a weapon. And guess what? I minted a fucking weapon. And I'm gonna show you the weapon right now. So I minted this. And how this game works is if you own an NFT, and let's go a little bit into the game as well. If you own an NFT, you can get Solana by getting kills, but only if you own an NFT, right? So now I own an NFT, so I can basically play and get Solana while I play, right? So that's very good for me. But I really want to try and get one character. So I'm gonna see if I can manage to move funds from Binance and still be and still have like you know, the supply is still available by that time to mint a character. So here's the game, and so what happens with the NFTs? Like, that's what I'm trying to show you. So the NFTs are basically only skins, right? So these are the NFTs, and these are not NFTs. These are basically shitty stuff in the game, the default stuff. But what happens is when you own an NFT, like I own that, so I own this, right? I own the pistol, right? I can come here, I can equip the skin, right? I can equip the skin, and by having that skin equipped while I play, I earn Solana. And this is why I entered the game, because this is what I wanted to show you. You can have more skins equipped at the same time, right? So I don't know if it's exactly gonna be like I have to play with that specific weapon to get, you know, Solana. So that's why I really wanted to mint first of all an character NFT, because the character, you're basically always playing with it, right? You're always gonna be able to, no matter what weapon you play with. So yeah. So right now I'm really trying to see if I can manage to move funds in time for if I can get I'll withdraw 1.5 Solana to mint a character in this game, and that would just give me 2 NFTs equipable as skins, so I can get 2 times more the Solana I would get from 1 NFT, right? And then you also have like different rarities for the skins, which are the NFTs. So the skins are basically the NFTs. They don't affect the way the weapons shoot or the weapon damage in any way, right? It's just pure skill. You just earn money because you own the skins, and you can rent them out as well if you don't play, and that is really good in my opinion. So I didn't kill him with a bomb. So yeah, this is what I'm currently investing in, and imagine I'm not risking thousands of fucking dollars. Like I put so much money, like I did put thousands of dollars into Lost Relics, right? But I'm not risking thousands of dollars on this game, right? I'm like literally spend, if I manage to get the character NFT, I literally spend 2.5 Solana, and Solana is under $40 right now, so it's good. in my opinion, it's like the investment amount for a game, it's right where it should be, right? And don't look at me dying, because I'm not trying to focus, but I'm not that bad at this game usually. So this is actually what I'm trying to get in at. I already got in, let's say, because I have an NFT, so I can start earning money once the public sale ends and the NFTs will be equipable in the game. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. Yep, I heard of CryptoKitties. Yeah, it's like the start of NFT. Exactly, but it has no gameplay. I think you can easily take profit on that, on selling that NFT. That as well, but I'm more interested in the earning aspect of it. I really want to see how much Solana I can earn by having these NFTs. You know, that's more interesting to me than flipping the NFT, because okay, I bought it at 1 Solana and the floor price is 1.5. Okay, I make 0.5 Solana. I'm sure I can make a 10x on the NFT. That there's no doubt about that. But for me, more importantly is the use case of the NFT at this point, because like again, I would never invest into NFT art. For me personally, I invested, like, for me, look, I bought a painting when I was buying Ethereum. So I literally bought one painting. Instead of purchasing one Ethereum, I purchased a painting. And the painting at like one Ethereum back then, like I said, I bought in between 200 and 400. So let's say $300. So for this painting, I paid $300, right? Instead of getting one Ethereum. But the thing is that I wanted to buy this painting for at least 4 years now. Okay, so I've been trying to save money and stuff like that to buy this painting from a friend of mine that is a painter, and it's actually a painting that is indexed on the artwork. So it's indexed in the market, in the international market, and uh, it started at, I think, 2000 something euros. So now it's probably a lot higher. But it was evaluated at that. So I basically managed to. I had the opportunity because he was moving, and he also needed some money, and the opportunity just came for me to actually own this painting once and for all, right? Because I've been drooling over it for like, and this is real world painting, okay? So I I like art. I understand art, okay? I'm not saying like art NFTs are not going to have a future, or art is like, probably this is the best thing that happened to art. NFTs is probably the best thing to happen to art in a long time, from a production perspective, in the sense that you are a painter, right? And you can get royalties. Oh, and I didn't even mention that I get 10% royalties on that NFT because I minted it. So every time that NFT is sold to another user, I get 10% of the amount to this wallet. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that when I minted it. So it's the same thing with the art NFT space, right? The painter gets royalties from his buyer reselling that painting, which is very important for, because like painting is one of the most and art in general, it was one of the most underpaying professions. So I guess now being so overpaid with the crypto space, I guess it found a little bit of balance. They like, I know my friend because he's been struggling most of his life and he's been an artist, right? And the starving artist is actually true. So I think like for the artist, the NFT space is a real good innovation, but for me as somebody, as an investor, I don't find value in that. I find more value in owning the real picture, right? The real painting, than in owning an NFT, right? As an investor into art, okay? And when I'm investing into art, for me, I didn't buy this painting to sell it, right? For me, it's like I bought this painting because I appreciate art, and in that sense I cannot appreciate an NFT without a use case, right? I can appreciate this painting sitting on my wall, okay, because it tells me something, it has a message, it's like, for me this has intrinsic value because it makes me feel something, this painting. But owning an NFT, just so investing into art, You know, like to buy this painting and sell it at a higher price. I, I don't. I. That's not the way I view art, right? So I cannot. Uh, I cannot purchase, art NFTs because I don't. It's not that I don't believe in them. I understand their use case. I don't. They have no value for me personally. You know, they have no intrinsic value. So I'm trying to get into coding as well. So I know, like, I can say I'm at the junior from web developer, front end junior the developer level. So the way I look at NFTs, if you know anything about programming, is like NFTs are like, you know what API calls are, like APIs, like basically they're objects on the internet, NFTs, right? And objects can have different properties, right? So that's the way I view NFTs. I view them as, in a programming sense, as they, like, okay, so we have the fact that you actually own the NFT, right? Because nobody can take it away. So you actually have it in your wallet, you own it. So that, having that in mind, like owning an object that has utility in an ecosystem, uh, it has to have utility because it's an object, right? It's like owning a house. A house, you can live in it. So you have to do something with an NFT on the internet. Otherwise, like art right now, it's just for flipping. That's not a use case. You know, just simply collecting, that's not a use case. Collecting is not a use case, right? Okay? Like, it's an emotion based activity, so I don't see it as a use case. Okay, so collecting, like, collectors don't collect items to sell when they actually appreciate in value. Collectors collect items just because they like the item. They identify, they have like certain emotions tied to that specific item that they're collecting, right? They're not collecting to make a profit. That's investments. Oh, nice, you're a developer too, bro. Maybe you can teach me a lot more. So yeah, like, tell me if I'm wrong in that way. Like, if I have like a bad vision around NFTs being JSONs, right? It's basically a JSON, a broader Web3. So it's basically a JSON on Web3, right? That you own. Yeah. Oh, it's so good somebody to actually validate your viewpoint. Thank you. Yeah, cause but it's at the same time I really enjoy taking constructive criticism as well because like nobody's perfect. I know I have flaws in the way I think about stuff and like more perspectives can give you better decision and risk management making, decision making and better risk management. So that's why with that game that I just showed you, with that shooter game, that I'm more interested in the use case of the NFT than flipping it. And I think, cause like, you need to tell me right now if you know of STEPEN or not. You know what STEPEN is, cause it's pretty hyped too at the same time. So you might have heard of it. I remember doing a tool that captures all Lost Relic items real time. The count, I mean, so I can see it in real time. Yeah, so like, well, first of all, it's kind of counterintuitive without the renting system right now, the game, in the sense that it tries to be a game, right? But like the thing is that in my opinion, the way that they implemented breeding in that game is like doesn't it let alone it doesn't fucking match the narrative in the sense that you're fucking making one sneaker with two sneakers and you only buy one sneaker and you don't even have pairs of sneakers. You actually can equip two different like you can't even equip two sneakers, right? But beyond the fucking point, the narrative is completely dog shit, right? uh it's again, it's an app that tries to, have a use case, right? Well, like, it's an app that like the incentive should be to make you run, right? It's a running app, and you get rewarded for doing sports, right? From running and walking and jogging and blah blah blah, right? That's the incentive, you to get rewards from that, right? But you don't get any rewards without an initial investment. And since they do not have renting and you cannot rent a pair of shoes, because like this is how renting should work, right? I have no money, okay, but I have this app, right? And you have an NFT, and the app allows that NFT to come into my account. I use it for 24 hours. I play with it without having any money, right? So I can, with zero investment, I can make money, and then we split the money, right? Because you have the NFT, but I can start making money without money. So it's fucking dog shit right now because it didn't come out with a renting system, first of all. So it's unfucking, like, it's the whole concept is useless. You need to pay money, right? So like the app should incentivize me to be healthier. Right now the app incentivizes me to invest more, do less sports, so I get more money back. Like, it's completely beside the point, right? Like, it's so redundant. The concept is so like backwards. Like, why? Why breeding in the first fucking place, right? Why breeding? Like, the way I see this app is like, uh first of all, for free users, let them use the app for, I don't know, let run 10 kilometers, right? Run 10 kilometers, and after 10 kilometers you can get your first free NFT, so you can start, participating in the ecosystem, right? Like, incentivize me to actually run, right? Give me something for running. Like, you give me nothing for running, you make me put money in the game to, so I can run even less, like do even less fitness, like, uh. So for me it's a totally backward system, fucking Steppen. Yeah, I heard the hype, but I didn't check it. Yeah, I got you. It's fucking useless. I forgot to say I can still see the browser. Yes. Well, it's no problem. Take that off. I usually, when I watch crypto news and stuff like that, I leave it there. So, but yeah, like, and it's so fucking cool. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, because all my hype buttons are going up, because I cannot fucking believe you are a fucking developer and you actually made some kind of tool for Lost Relics. Because I'm like, I don't have a lot of skills, okay? Like I said, I don't have a lot of skills. I'm trying to get into blockchain development. Uh, and I've been like throwing around ideas with the community because I want to build a guild with NFTs. Like, I want to see what value I can bring like out of Lost Relics into a third party guild for Lost Relics, because like I want, first of all, I started to look up the engine API because I want to make the NFTs on engine so that in the like I want this to work, and if it works and it actually manages to bring some value to the community, then I wanted to be able to give Cliff a chance to integrate some use cases for those NFTs. So the NFTs would be something like the roles you have in the guild, right? So let's say you are an officer in the guild. Uh, what Cliff can do is just, if you hold that token that is your officer token in the guild in your wallet, then it can basically give you like a title, right? So you get like officer of blah blah guild or something like that in the game, and like not gameplay related, utility, but stuff like that. So I don't know how much free time or disponibility, or even if you want to like try to think tank some a project in that sense. For me, I don't really exactly know where to start. I guess what I can make is I can make the NFTs and then make a login system based on the NFTs. But again, I won't be using MetaMask. I would be using Engine, so the NFTs will be in the Engine wallet. So I have to use the API of Engine, to check your wallet and stuff like that. So for me, it's a lot. It's a slow process for me, and like if you have time and you like this game and you want, I we can work towards trying to build something cool for this game, because like, as you know, like Cliff can't really do anything, and we as a third party, if we can bring some value, to the game in some sort of way, which I haven't really figured out black and white yet. Like everything is kind of gray right now, even with crypto and everything. So, like, we can totally chat, and I would love to do that. I got few experience on using API, but I don't have that time to discover more. I need to work for money. Yeah, I want to. I kind of fucked up, because I was working this job. I also was learning to code. I was literally interviewing to get a job, right, for a front end developer. And the thing is that some unforeseen fucking shady fucking shit happened at my last job, and I really fucking am sick of the corporate, mentality and stuff like that, and I got screwed over, which okay, I had a backup plan, to get a dev job, but I didn't expect for it to affect me in the way that I didn't really have energy to put towards my interviews, and I took a break, and that's when I actually started to play this game. And it's kind of been downhill from there. Like I couldn't, like I look now on LinkedIn, I had so many offers, I had so many opportunities, but now that I actually haven't been really coding or had the energy to actually keep going in this space for like the past 6 months, it's been really really hard for me. I don't really exactly even know what kind of job I'm trying to get. I'm like in the same third world country problem. Fucking here. I'm from Romania. Where are you from, bro? Oh, nice, Philippines. Yeah, a lot of crypto gamers come from there because of the financial situation the country has. Yeah. So like, I don't know how much like time you have, but like currently the only thing I have is time. So like I'm trying to make the most out of it, and at the same time not going, not not losing my mind. You know, at the same time, I'm trying to. I'm working on myself, I guess, so I can get back in the right mental to start fucking life again. Nice. We are forcing Zenny drops now. So yeah. We should totally get in touch. Like I would love to hear your story with coding and about the job that you're working in, because I kind of need some positive motivation. So if you want, like you can, like we can chat on Discord and stuff like that. I'm gonna write my Discord username in the chat and you can add me if you would like, when you would like. Hope for a blue gram drop directly. But yeah, probably blue gram. I don't know. It's kind of like the most utility the game has right now, but that might change with the new maps. So my Discord is just and it is 55606. Yep, yep. I'm actually pretty excited about PvP in this game, although I think it's gonna be really, really clunky. I do think it's the only thing that I'm gonna possibly be just constantly doing after I hit level, 120. Is probably I'm gonna focus like 75% on PvP and the rest 25% on PvE in Lost Relics. I love PvP. Like I said, I'm pretty competitive in that sense. That like I if it's skill based and it's with versus other people, then it's my jam. We also have a lot of players from the Philippines in the game. Some that also stream. Did any of them by chance got you into Lost Relics? How did you find out about the game? If you ask me that question, I can tell you I do not remember, but I actually didn't pay for accessing the game. I didn't do anything in the game. I remember that in May 2020, I don't know. I think it was a YouTube video or something. I was looking for some games and then I thought, let's see if the blockchain gaming space evolved, and I found Lost Relics, and I played it for like 2 hours. The game concept, like the way the game economy and concept, it was like 100% different. It was a whole different game. But like I played it for a few hours and it felt clunky, and I didn't really understand how I should play it, and just that didn't make sense to me, so I just felt it was a bad game. So I realized it wasn't even called Lost Relics when I activated my account. It was called Forgotten Artifact. So then comes 2000, 21 by the end, when I got all this shit on my head with the job and with the coding and with the interviews, and just wanted a place where I could like relax, right? So I was waiting, I guess, for Diablo 2 remastered, and while I was doing that, I started looking. I remembered about crypto games, right? So I started looking, and I see this game called Lost Relics, and I look at the fucking game, and I played this game. What the fuck? It's not called that. It was called Forgotten Artifact. And then I log in the game, and I have all the blockchains from 1 year ago, and I basically had all the blue or the green gear, the longbow and the katana from those few hours that I played it in 2021, right? So it was nice, and I realized that with the name change, the game completely changed as well. It was like a whole different concept, and it was like a cool fucking concept too, because it 6 months ago the game wasn't this linear. It was more like you didn't have tier, like you couldn't have blue, epic, legendary nodes and shit like that. You just had nodes, right? And what came out of the nodes was basically depending on the tool that you had equipped. So it wasn't that linear, and I that is what, and I know this for a fact, that a lot of people got attracted to this non-linear way of like your relics being your spells, not having tier nodes and stuff like that. I know that's what attracted me to the game when I came back to it. Now the skill system got a lot more linear, which I can't say is a bad or good thing. It's just like I was really excited to see that the game wasn't really following the, stereotypes of other games in the linear fashion that they all do. So I really like the fact that this game was taking a little bit of innovation in the gameplay. Like, first of all, who made an RPG where a Diablo-like RPG where you can swap your weapon like in a first-person shooter? Like, for me, that's innovation, right? And I'm not even joking. Just this small fucking thing, this little small fucking detail is just so huge in my opinion. It's just like, for me, I like Lost Relics because it doesn't follow the normal. It brings something new to the RPG, it brings something new to the table, and that's very important when you've been like working in gaming and seeing all these fucking concepts remade, remade the same fucking game over and over again. You just can't take it anymore, right? So for me, Lost Relics was a breath of fresh air. So in that sense, yeah, I just crashed it. COVID brings me to the crypto space center. Yeah, it's good. It's good that you, with COVID, you had a little bit more free time to. Was kind of the same for me. Like, I'm pretty like I didn't realize how much of an impact like not going physically to work for me has. Like, I was going at work like I was going at school, just to meet people, have fun, talk, socialize basically. I really like I never really had I never really was living out because I was going to work, right? I wasn't like that money was not vital to my sustainability. But I was working because of the right now it's starting to feel that way, but like I always had side hustle. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Besides, I al- besides my job, right? So trying to expand the side hustle with crypto into gaming, like kind of came naturally after being locked so much, in the house, like not being able to do stuff that you usually did, and yeah. I made some investments on Axie, get some good money and became greedy, in just I'm just reinvesting to the game again and it dips now. I hate working too, I'm doing it too. Working plus side hustles, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I realized I mean I know for sure I not realized or anything. I knew from the fact that I still have to work a few years, but I really wanted to work this last few years into web development and progress towards blockchain development. So, yeah, I have to get back up on my feet, I guess. Yeah, it's well, I actually wouldn't know what I don't know what to say to I have no opinions about when we should resign because I don't even know when we should resign. Like for me right now, like even let's say like a good spot is let's say you have so much crypto on Binance stake that you make like the like a minimum salary. I don't know how much is in your country, but let's say like if you make $300, it's the minimum salary $300 here in Romania, right? Let's say not quite, but let's say if I make $300 per month from staking my investments, then I guess that would be. It's not. You definitely don't want to quit your job then, but it's definitely then where you can start seeing a future in resigning from a day-to-day job, right? A 9 to 5 job. Until then, I can't even think about that. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, especially if you have a high income like that for your country. Then imagine like I said, it's for me. I think it's more valuable to invest a small amount regularly. You will always get uh, minimize the risk in that way. It's like if you have 1K, let's say you put and this also depends. For me, I would put 75%. So I would put $750 out of that 1K and live below my means, right? With that $250. But like even if you invest $100 each month or week, I would say at that amount I would invest $100 each week, right? Because then I would be investing $400 out of 1K dollars, right, per month. So I would invest that, just invest it into crypto and start staking it. Spoken. Unfortunately, I tried to get married, I tried to have kids, I tried to have all that, but I just didn't have find the right person. And the thing is that I guess it was good because like I didn't even was looking for the right person. I was looking for that stuff. It just proved that the people that I wanted that stuff, we didn't want it, right? So it's good that they didn't want it because otherwise I'll be probably stuck. Whoa, at 26 you have a son and a wife. That's nice. By the way, I'm 31, so like it's not such a huge difference, but like when I was 26, like you, exactly that what I was doing. I was trying to make a family. It didn't play out for me though in the end. So like I've been I've got used to living since my 20 since I was 23. I started, to try and gradually live below my means. There's this entrepreneurial quote that stuck with me since I was small. It's like, living a few years like somebody won't, to live the rest of your life like somebody cannot afford, right? Which we just it just sticked to me, so. And yeah, definitely living below your means is one of the first steps you need to work towards when you want to get into investing. Yeah. So I can imagine Sovereign, and yeah, Mugsy, I can imagine you guys like if you invest $100 out of that 1,000, I think you are it's perfect. But like for me, like I said, I would go as high because yeah, yeah. I can't say that I'm happy, like that's a big part of like my mental state and stuff like that. It's like you know I can see advantages and disadvantages. Like one big advantage for me having a family is it would motivate me to fucking burn out even harder, right? Then I motivate myself, but at the same time, I like you guys. I cannot, you know, invest as much as I would if I would be in a relationship. And if I would have a kid, which for fuck's sakes, I'm actually at the point where I'm like, I should have made the kid even if I didn't marry that person, right? So I should have just made a kid, even if I wasn't together with my spouse. But like, I don't even I don't know. I feel like I'm I passed that point, and if I'm gonna find somebody now, I'm gonna have to find somebody, who understands my future, not the person like I am now. Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's a double-edged sword, right? The double-edged sword. Although I would love to have a partner that actually works as hard as I don't really work hard. I need to work harder. But like I said, if I would have a partner that would be like working at least as hard as me, and it would be motivating in the sense of, that positive competitivity that I'm talking about, right? That I've been talking about. Like it, you see that you're, yeah, because you work together towards the same goal, right? And it's like you motivate each other to push even harder for each other, because you know why you're doing it. I'm doing it for us, and she's doing it for us as well. So it's like having a common goal, and competition in that sense is very positive for me. So like it would just make me it would just turn me into a better person overall, right? So like until now I haven't, like I have to admit that I haven't really been looking in the right places for a partner in that sense. I would have to admit that I'm a pretty like outgoing person in the sense that I don't miss out on life, right? Like I can't say I'm one of those people that puts work before life. But certainly I'm at that point in my life where I'm not. incentivized and I don't feel, like having fun is bringing, like going out, for example, uh, traveling. I did all that stuff in my 20s, and I did all the drugs in my 20s. I did most stuff, clubbing, having crazy fucking fun with a lot of girls and shit like that in my 20s. So like I don't feel out that I missed out on life, but I could have certainly, made the more out of myself by now, right? But I was like kind of a balanced person in that sense that I can like I can talk with a guy that uh, I don't know how to put it in the sense I don't want to talk about drug dealers and stuff like that, but like I don't know how you relate a gypsy as a concept, because it's certainly different internationally than it is nationally for me. But like, w- I guess I can also fit in that space where people dabble in shady shit because like I've grown there basically. So like I'm pretty in tune with the more shady part of the world, as well as the technical side and jobs and stuff like that, and companies. And so you just burn out. If having a Maxi, having a kid is like having a full-time job, but you have a full-time job as well. Yes. But you can like I would say one thing that you would have to agree, because otherwise I don't know what kind of person you are. So you have to agree, like on the from your job, from your full-time job, you get paid in money, right? But from the full-time job of being with your kid and raising your kid, you cannot quantify that. You cannot even begin to quantify that. You're getting paid in emotions, I guess you can say it, if you emotions would be a currency. You get paid in something totally different that you will never be able to get from a job, right? If you look at raising your kid as a job. So like I cannot I understand your point of view, but I would argue that at the same time as you can compare them like that, you can't even compare them like that, right? So the paradox, right? And because I didn't really have this like I don't know picture perfect lifestyle in my 20s. I guess that's why I was saying that I didn't really look in the right places for the partner that I wish I would have found, right? So I was attracted to all that bad stuff too because I know a few girls in my life that actually could have offered me that, but I wasn't ready. I didn't even understand the concept back then, right? So I didn't know I wanted this, so I couldn't say yes. I still had a lot of shit to experience and to get to that point. So unfortunately, that's how life is, right? You can't really see any something until you're ready for it. So like I can even if I try right now, and I think I did with one of them is married. Okay, so that goes without saying, and one of them is I don't even know what she's doing, but I think I tried getting in touch with her, and she was very, I don't know, I wouldn't say, she just didn't want to try anything in that sense. She already made up her mind about me, and I can't really blame her, right? Although I was a completely different person when I first talked to her than the second time, right? So she didn't give me a second chance. What can I do? I'm not the type, to beg. Unfortunately, it works for some people, but if you start begging, you already put yourself in a losing position. So I'm not ready to do that. So, Max, yeah, I bet it's fucking awesome. I know. I I put all my love into my dog, unfortunately, because it's like my kids, my dog. What can I do? Oh no, it's awesome, but it makes you wish you didn't need to work. And you know how the stuff is like, when you have a job and you get bored at the job, you don't want the job anymore. When you don't have a job, you crave a job because you are so bored not working, right? So I think the idea here is just having a really well balanced, home with work, life. Like in this sense, like try to balance work with the time you spend with your kid. I think that's very important. But like saying that you wish you didn't have one for the other is just, it's not sustainable, because you will find yourself at one point wanting to go back to what you had. So yeah, like you could take two full-time jobs on tomorrow and you could be double your income. But at the same time, it's like, fuck, now I have two jobs and one of them is your own call, so it interrupts most of your sleep. Yeah, I don't know. That's why, like, it's very important for us as a, like, right now in the in the financial system that we currently are experiencing. It's very important to try and make a few, and I'm saying a few because one passive income source is not enough. You need a few, not to be a millionaire, but to live, let's say, where the middle class would, because we have no more middle class. You have to admit that, like, there's no more middle class. Like, that's completely, I could say I was part of the middle class, right? But then if you really look at it, you are just becoming poorer and poorer. So you're basically get just drawn to the, I don't know, is it lower class, to the poor side of things. Like, basically our financial system is made to make you poorer, to make you to make you lose the value of your time, no? Because it's basically, that's what you do with money. You quantify the value of your time, right? That's what money does. But if you don't think about it in that way and try to build some passive incomes, then you will always find yourself in the situation where you have to work more for less. And obviously, that is not sustainable. Obviously. It's just, if you really take the time to think about money, it goes back to, it's just one simple thing. The way the economic system works, it makes you work harder for less. And that's how eventually the middle class is gonna be completely wiped out, and there's gonna be either the elite or the poor. There's no middle ground, unfortunately. But at the same time, it's like, fuck, now I have two jobs and one of them your own close interest most of your stuff. Gonna get out. Thanks for the conversation. Thank you as well for joining. Thank you for talking, Sovereign. See you. Maybe chat on you in Discord or catch you later. Thank you. I'm actually going to be going to eat because I put the food out quite a few hours ago, but I enjoyed conversating with you guys so much. I just couldn't make myself leave the leave the PC. And I got some good XP, good grinds in there too. You time passes, you know, when you're chatting. You don't even realize that you're farming, right? It's so fun. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little break and thanks Magzi and Sovereign for joining and tuning in and chatting with me. Catch you all laters.